Vocals is going to be the single most important thing that's going to be recorded. It's going to be the thing that people listen to more than anything. Not only is the quality of your singer extremely important to your band and making sure you have a good singer, but there's many other things you can do to make sure your singer is nice and tuned up for the studio.
If you're a vocalist starting to get a cold, I would say do everyone a favor and just reschedule.
Make sure that your singer and as well as everyone else in the band is healthy.
When you have a cold, it just ruins the track, and everyone comes in and wants to redo it anyway. So I mean, I would say save your money and just reschedule it to begin with. Don't try to fight through it.
You want to make sure that you're well hydrated. You don't want to be getting in the studio after either drinking a lot of alcohol or caffeine.
We want you to get a good night's sleep before your studio date. It's very important, especially the first day. There's usually a lot of pressures in the first day.
Make sure you have your lyrics pretty much memorized. A lot of people come in and just try to read them off a piece of paper, and you can hear the pages turning and the mics, and if you're reading it, it's going to sound like you're reading it.
Know your words. Make sure they're memorized, so that way when you come in the studio, you actually are singing with emotion instead of singing off a piece of paper. Okay, you can sing so much better. If it's rap lyrics, it's better if you can perform your lyrics. But rap is a little different because a lot of people actually freestyle on the spot, or they will actually write in the studio. So we'll come with a beat and we'll just be creating it while we're going.
You want to make sure that you've rehearsed all your material to a click, so that when you get into the studio, everything is cohesive with the instruments that have been recorded to a click as well.
People who wear loud clothing, people who wear dangly earrings, people who wear wallet chains. This is a problem for drummers, especially since they're active and moving around. I get their chains in the track pretty often. Leather jackets, sweatsuit, like windbreakers. The mics pick this stuff up.
A person who sings should know if they're sharp or flat, and most importantly be able to identify pitch. So if the singer is not singing in key, I can play a note, or our engineers can play a note on the keyboard, and you can imitate that note, and we can say that's the one you're supposed to be hitting. If you're not up to that level yet, you need to practice before you get in the studio.
It's better to get the part right to begin with, but we can tweak a little bit here and there if necessary. Also, we have auto-tune. Again, you want to make sure you're as on pitch as you possibly can be. If not, we need to go back and redo a part. But within reason, I mean, just little pieces we can take and we can align those to the pitch that they should be on. A lot of times you'll want to do layered vocals to where you're doubling your vocal, or maybe on the chorus you're doing, suddenly your vocals get a lot thicker because there's multiple takes all stacked together and panned different ways.
Goodbye, 'cause now I'm free to fly.
Okay, we can just check that in auto-tune just to make sure that there's nothing we're not hearing with our ears.
And then we have tools like VocalLine that'll allow us to fix within reason, align the first part and take the second part and align it closer to it to make sure that it's right on.
Okay, the first tool I'd like to show you that has to do with vocals is auto-tune. It's an amazing tool. But let me show you an example. Here is a line right here. And by the way, this is already in pitch, so let's hear this.
Sometimes I wake up.
Okay, so there's our line.
Sometimes.
So let's put it in the auto-tuner. These little red lines are actually her voice, and the little green lines are where she's supposed to sing. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here, and we're going to find out where she's supposed to be singing, and we're just going to make little lines here to basically straighten out her voice so it puts it more on key. Now she's actually pretty well on key already, and we're just going to touch it up a little bit. I'm going to show you what it sounds like.
Sometimes I wake up.
And here we mix that in, and it sounds like with everything.
Sometimes I wake up crying at night, and sometimes I scream out your name.
This is another great tool for vocals. It's called Vocal Align, and I just want you to be aware of it because this is where some of your time will be spent in auto-tuning and vocal aligning. It's one of the things we use to make vocals sound great. A lot of times we layer vocals like guitars, and we may have 6 layers on backgrounds or 2 layers. On this particular recording, we have 2 layers, but as opposed to 1. And here's an example of 1 layer.
Sometimes I wake up
And here's an example of 2 layers on the next line.
crying at night.
Not every singer sings perfectly in time with themselves. So that's what Vocal Align helps us do, is if you sing one of them right and one of them just a little ahead or behind, it lines up all the syllables. So let me take this vocal, and these 2 sound like.
Sometimes I wake up.
So what Vocal Align is going to do is basically line them up for us. So it sounds like this.
Sometimes I wake up.
Isn't that cool? My favorite.
Sometimes I wake up.